Let's talk Rangers, Islanders, and all things NHL playoffs with Greg Wyshynski, senior NHL writer at ESPN. Greg, first and foremost, thanks for jumping on with us. Thanks for responding to my email this morning, man. You got back to me faster than a lot of my friends when I text them. You ready to talk some playoff hockey?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, we'll start with this Rangers-Capitals series. The Rangers are up 2-0. I was at the bodega this morning to get some milk, and I saw the Great 8 in the back of the milk carton. Where has Alex Ovechkin been, and how crucial is it for him to get going for the Caps to have a chance to take one back from the Rangers?
Have you seen this Russian? Yeah, no, it's been interesting to watch these first two games, and also interesting to hear Spencer Carberry, the Capitals head coach, not call out Ovechkin necessarily, but call out his play after game two. Ovi one shot on goal for the series so far. And Carberry said, he expects Ovechkin to get between 4 and 5 good scoring chances a game, and he's not getting any of those. For two reasons. One, his shots are getting blocked like crazy by the Rangers. But the other reason is that he's not getting a good matchup right now. The Rangers and Peter Laviolette smartly deploy Ryan Lindgren and Adam Fox against Ovechkin as often as they can. And so when the action shifts back to D.C. for Game 3, look for the Capitals to try to get Ovechkin away from the Rangers' top defensive pairing as often as they can.
Well, you know how in social media everyone wants to put the blame on someone. So since a great player like this can't get going, is that more on the coach or is it more on the player?
No, it's on the player. But, I mean, in the player's defense, the man is 38 years old. The days of Alex Ovechkin carrying the Capitals for a full 82-game season are over. He can carry them for like a week and a half, which is kind of what you need in a playoff series. So, again, you look at how this series has gone for him so far. He's not been himself. He's not been engaged in the offensive zone. They've not necessarily gotten him the puck enough on the power play. The first time he did get a real good touch last night on the power play was at center ice, and he turned the puck over to Zibanejad for that Keandre Miller shorthanded goal that ended up being the game winner. So they've got to find a way to get him going. He's still the engine of that team, but the Rangers have done a really good job in shutting him down.
They've also done a good job in being physical against the Capitals as well. So we got to get your take on the Artemi Panarin hit on TJ Oshie. Should that have been a penalty?
No. And I know that a lot of people are looking at the footage of Oshie going after Panarin earlier in the game, and that the Panarin hit may have been a little retribution for that. I mean, that's hockey. The things I look at on this play are pretty easy. I mean, Oshie had the puck, so it's not interference. And if you look at the replay, the majority of the contact that Panarin makes with Oshie is with the body. Does he get the head a little bit? Sure, he probably does. But by no means was the head the main point of contact. That's the illegal check to the head rule. So it's not an illegal check to the head, and it certainly didn't deserve any kind of match penalty or anything like that. And plus, Oshie came back in the game as well. So I know there's a lot of debate about this hit, and a lot of my friends in the Caps community saying that it should be a penalty or a suspension for Panarin. But by the rule book, he didn't do anything wrong on that play.
Yeah, we saw PK saying it was a bad hit as well. I saw that tweet, and I was just like, PK just hates the Rangers. Let's just be honest.
I respectfully disagree with my colleague. I don't think he quite got that one right, but to each their own. I mean, it's, these kinds of hits are Rorschach tests, right? Everybody's going to see something different. I happen to think, based on the rule book, that what Panarin did last night didn't deserve a penalty nor a suspension.
All right, we're just 2 games into the series, but what do you like so far about the Rangers, and do you think that this team this year has the juice to go far into the playoffs?
Kind of looking that way. I don't want to make too many judgments based on them beating the Capitals, who might be the worst team in the playoff bracket this year, East or Western Conference. But, you see the Rangers kind of having some pieces fit in the puzzle right now. The penalty kill has been incredibly good, incredibly effective. They're still scoring on the power play. If you look down the lineup, where my biggest concern for this team is, you start to see that VC Rempe, Barclay Goudreau line really kind of coalesce in a way that reminds you of the great checking lines we've seen in past champions, whether it's the Lightning's checking line or the grind line of Detroit, or going back to the 1990s, the crash line in Jersey. The Rangers might have a little something with that Rempe line on getting the minutes that they're getting and being as effective as they are. So there's a lot of signs right now that point to this being kind of a special group and this being kind of a special year. But we'll see how this series plays out, and then we'll see how the bracket plays out.
It's the 30-year anniversary since winning that last Stanley Cup. Let's switch some gears, take the LIR and head out to the island, talk about the Islanders. Obviously, everyone's talking about that terrible collapse on Monday night. What's your thoughts on that collapse, and do you think that there is any way that this team can rebound in this series?
Well, like their captain Anders Lee said, man, it's a stab to the gut. I mean, it's hard to get over the fact that they not only blew a 3-0 lead in that game, but then blew the tying goal and the winning goal within a 9-second span. I mean, it's hard to pull yourself off the canvas when that happens. But that being said, it was a 3-0 lead. That being said, it was a game one in which the Islanders, I thought, played pretty well. There are things that happened in Raleigh that I think they can pull out of those games and build on with games 3 and 4 back at UBS. And so we'll see what happens. Again, it's a devastating loss in game 2. The Islanders should be coming back 1-1 in this series based on what happened in that game previously. But they've learned some lessons about not trying to sit on a lead, and they've learned a lot about how the Hurricanes can counterpunch pretty quickly. But again, if I'm the Islanders, I have more confidence if I'm the Islanders going home than if I'm the Capitals going home. Let me put it that way.
And that's really cool that you said that, because throughout the course of Patrick Waugh taking over this team, throughout some losses, he's always said there are things that we can build off of, things we can get better at. So, Patty Waugh has done a great job rebounding with this team. So I think they can make it a series if they can tie that series up at UBS Arena. Me and you we're new dads. We got newborns. We don't stay up late. So what are some of the other series that must-see TV for hockey fans if they can stay up?
Oh, I'm staying up, man. It's Stanley Cup season. It's been awesome so far. The series have kind of gone the way we think they should have gone. Maybe there's a couple of series in the West that you should check out. First of all, Dallas and Vegas is a war. We already sailed that in game 1. Vegas getting their guys back off of injured reserve. They look like another steamroller in the playoffs like they were last year. Those two teams absolutely hate each other. So game 1 went to Vegas. We'll see what Dallas has in game 2. Only, I think it's like 19% of teams that dropped the first 2 games having home ice advantage have rallied to win a series in the last 30 years. So it's a critical game for Dallas in game 2. And then the other series I'd point out is that Winnipeg-Colorado series that we saw game 2 last night. The first game was insane. It was like 1980s hockey, 7-6. And then last night, the Avs with a really solid counterpunch to take game 2. Connor Hellebuck, the Jets goalie, who's probably going to win the Vezina Trophy as the best goalie in the league this year, has been outplayed so far in the first 2 games. So a lot of intrigue there, a lot of crazy scoring in that series. Two series worth staying up for out west.
Like they say, ain't no hockey like playoff hockey. Greg, thanks for hopping on with us, man. We got to get you back on sometime soon.
Yeah, anytime.